Hello, my name is Scarlett, and welcome to Grow English Mastery. Today, we are going to tackle a very serious and developing news story from the Middle East. When we watch the news, we often hear about international conflicts that are complex, fast-moving, and can be very confusing. Learning the English to understand these events clearly and accurately is a very important skill for any global citizen. In this lesson, we will be analyzing reports of a major military conflict that has escalated between Israel and Iran. We will look at the timeline of events as they have been reported, examine the claims being made by both sides, and explore the international context surrounding this dangerous situation. Our main question today is, what is happening? Why is it happening now? And what are the key claims and warnings from each side in this conflict? This is a powerful opportunity for us to learn English through real-world events. By the end of our lesson, you will understand the main points of this developing story. We will learn 10 crucial vocabulary words used in news reporting about conflicts, including words like escalate, retaliation, and ultimatum. Our grammar focus will be the present perfect tense, which is essential for talking about recent events that have a direct result in the present. We will approach this topic with the seriousness and neutrality it deserves. Our goal is to understand the language used to describe these events. Let's begin. The story that is capturing the world's attention right now is a dramatic escalation of military action. According to recent reports from the Israeli military, dated June 14th, a major air operation over Iran's capital city, Tehran, has taken place. An Israeli military spokesperson, Brigadier General EP.24, made a powerful statement. He said, "We have created a zone of free action in the air from the west of Iran all the way to Tehran. Tehran is no longer inviolable." The word inviolable means something that is so safe and protected that it cannot be attacked or violated. By saying Tehran is no longer inviolable, the Israeli military is sending a very strong message. The spokesperson stated that approximately 70 Israeli fighter jets attacked more than 40 targets in the city of Tehran overnight. He described this as the deepest penetration that Israel has ever made into Iranian territory, and said that this access to Tehran has significant strategic and operational implications. But how did the situation reach this dangerous point? To understand today's news, we have to look at what happened yesterday. On June 13th, Israel launched what has been described as an unprecedented attack on Iran. The targets were reported to be around 200 military and nuclear sites across the country. Reports also suggested that this initial attack killed senior military commanders, nuclear scientists, and other officials. According to statements from Iran, this first wave of Israeli attacks resulted in 78 people killed and 320 people injured. Following this major attack, Iran responded. In what it described as a retaliatory action, Iran launched a series of drones and missiles towards Israel. According to reports from Israel, these attacks killed 3 people and injured more than 70 others, causing damage in several Israeli cities. This quick sequence of attack and response shows how rapidly the conflict has escalated. In a crisis like this, the words of leaders are watched very closely. The war of words is just as intense as the military action. Israel's defense minister, Israel Katz, issued a very strong warning to Tehran. He said that Tehran would burn if Iran did not stop its retaliatory missile attacks. Speaking after a meeting with military leaders, Minister Katz claimed that the Iranian government was turning its own people into hostages, especially the residents of Tehran, who will pay a heavy price if Iran continues to attack Israeli civilians. From the Iranian side, the diplomatic response has been firm. Iran's foreign minister, Abbas Araghchi, stated that negotiations with the United States are currently pointless, while Israeli attacks on Iranian cities are ongoing. However, he did not officially confirm that Iranian officials would completely withdraw from the talks, leaving the door slightly open. To understand and discuss such a serious international conflict, we need to have the right vocabulary. Let's learn 10 essential words that are used frequently in news reporting on these topics. Our first word is escalate. Spelling: E-S-C-A-L-A-T-E, escalate. It is a verb. To escalate means to become or to make something more intense, more serious, or greater. For example, the conflict has escalated rapidly in the past 48 hours. Another example, the small argument escalated into a big fight. And one more, both sides need to take steps to de-escalate the tension. Our second word is retaliation. Spelling: R-E-T-A-L-I-A-T-I-O-N, retaliation. It is a noun. Retaliation is the action of harming someone because they have harmed you. It's another word for revenge in a conflict context. For example, Iran launched missiles in retaliation for the Israeli attack. Another example, he hit his brother, but he did not expect any retaliation. And one more. The government promised swift retaliation against any country that supported the terrorists. Our third word is unprecedented. Spelling: U-N-P-R-E-C-E-D-E-N-T-E-D, unprecedented. It is an adjective. Something that is unprecedented has never happened, been done, or been known before. For example, Israel's initial attack was described as unprecedented in its scale. Another example, the company has seen unprecedented growth this year. And one more. We are living in a time of unprecedented technological change. Our fourth word is inviolable. Spelling: I-N-V-I-O-L-A-B-L-E, inviolable. It is an adjective. If something is inviolable, it must be respected, and it cannot be attacked or destroyed. For example, the Israeli spokesperson said that Tehran is no longer inviolable. Another example, in our country, the right to free speech is an inviolable principle. And one more. The temple was considered a sacred and inviolable place. Our fifth word is ultimatum. Spelling: U-L-T-I-M-A-T-U-M, ultimatum. It is a noun. An ultimatum is a final demand or statement of terms, where the rejection of it will result in retaliation or a breakdown in relations. For example, the U.S. president reportedly gave Iran an ultimatum regarding a nuclear deal. Another example, the boss gave him an ultimatum. improve your work or you will be fired. And one more. She issued an ultimatum to her roommate to pay the rent. Our sixth word is penetration. Spelling: penetration, penetration. It is a noun. In a military context, a penetration is an act of entering deep into enemy territory. For example, the spokesperson called the attack the deepest penetration Israel has made into Iran. Another example, the Army's successful penetration of the enemy's defenses was a turning point in the battle. And one more, the company is trying to achieve greater market penetration in Asia. Our seventh word is casualty. Spelling: casualty, casualty. It is a noun. A casualty is a person who is killed or injured in a war or an accident. For example, the first wave of attacks resulted in a high number of casualties. Another example, the train crash caused several casualties. And one more. Thankfully, there were no casualties in the fire. We often use it in the plural. Our eighth word is spokesperson. Spelling: spokesperson, spokesperson. It is a noun. A spokesperson is a person who is chosen to speak officially for a group, organization, or government. For example, the military spokesperson gave a press conference this morning. Another example, she is the official spokesperson for the White House. And one more, a spokesperson for the company refused to comment. Our ninth word is diplomacy. Spelling: diplomacy, diplomacy. It is a noun. Diplomacy is the management of relationships between countries, often through negotiation. For example, the U.S. president wants to create space for diplomacy to work. Another example, the conflict was resolved through careful diplomacy. And one more, he has had a long career in international diplomacy. And our final word is tension. Spelling: tension, tension. It is a noun. Tension is a situation in which people or countries disagree with each other in a way that makes them feel angry or nervous. For example, the recent attacks have increased the tension in the region. Another example, you could feel the tension in the room during the difficult meeting. And one more, there have been political tensions between the two countries for years. These powerful words are essential for understanding news about international relations. Now, let's look at the grammar we need to discuss these very recent and ongoing events accurately. Our grammar focus for today is the present perfect tense. We form it using have or has plus the past participle of the verb. This tense is perfect for talking about breaking news because it connects the past with the present. We use it to talk about recent events that have a result or an effect on the current situation. Let's see how it's used in our story. To talk about a very recent event, a reporter would say, Israel has launched a major attack. The action happened in the recent past, but the result, the crisis, is happening now. Another example. In response, Iran has launched a series of drones. This is also a recent action with present consequences. We also use the present perfect to report what someone has said, especially if it's still relevant. For example, The Israeli military spokesperson has said that Tehran is no longer inviolable. What he said in the past is important for understanding the situation now. It's also great for talking about experiences up to the present moment. For example, this is the deepest penetration we have ever made into Iran. This describes an experience from the past until now. It's useful to see the difference between the past simple and the present perfect. The past simple talks about a finished action at a specific time. For example, Israel attacked Iran yesterday. The time, yesterday, is specific. The present perfect is more focused on the present result. Israel has attacked Iran. The result is that a war might be starting now. Let's look at more examples from our topic. The conflict has escalated quickly. The U.S. President has urged Prime Minister Netanyahu to postpone the attack. The situation has become very dangerous. This tense is all over the news because it perfectly describes recent events that define our current reality. Now, how can you practice this grammar? For your listening skills, I want you to listen again to the summary of events at the beginning of this video. How many times did you hear me use have or has followed by a verb like launched, said, escalated, or responded? This will train your ear to recognize the present perfect. For your speaking skills, imagine you are a news reporter. Think of a recent event. It can be real or fictional. Give a short, 1-minute report about it using the present perfect. For example, good evening. A major storm has hit the coast of Florida. It has caused a lot of damage, and thousands of people have lost power. For your reading skills, I have a simple challenge. Go to a major international news website like the BBC, CNN, or Reuters. Read the headlines and the first paragraph of the main story. I can almost guarantee that you will find the present perfect tense. It is the language of breaking news. And for your writing skills, please use the comments section below. Write 1. Sentence summarizing the situation between Israel and Iran using the present perfect. For example, the exchange of attacks has made the situation in the Middle East very dangerous. To fully understand this crisis, we must look at the international context, particularly the role of the United States. According to the reports, U.S. President Donald Trump is in a very difficult position. This is because he had reportedly given Iran an ultimatum earlier this spring. The ultimatum was a demand for Iran to agree to a new nuclear deal within 60 days, with a deadline in the middle of June, right now. If Iran did not agree, it would face consequences. This context might help to explain the timing of the current crisis. However, now that military action has started, President Trump is reportedly urging the Israeli Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, to postpone or pause the attack. Why? To create space for negotiations and diplomacy to work. This shows the classic tension between military solutions and diplomatic ones. This puts Iran in a difficult position as well. As their foreign minister said, it is pointless to negotiate while under attack. It makes them look weak. But by not closing the door to talks completely, they may be trying to keep their options open. This is not just a military conflict between two countries. It is a high-stakes diplomatic chess game that involves the United States and could decide the future of the Iran nuclear deal and the stability of the entire region. Let's summarize the key points from this breaking news analysis. We have examined the dangerous escalation of conflict between Israel and Iran, detailing the reported attacks and retaliations from both sides. We have learned about the powerful claims being made, such as Israel's assertion that it has achieved air superiority all the way to Tehran. We have mastered 10 vital vocabulary words that are essential for understanding international conflicts, like escalate, retaliation, and diplomacy. And most importantly, we have focused on using the present perfect tense to accurately report on recent events that have a significant impact on the present situation. Following fast-moving and serious global events in English can be very challenging. By breaking down the story, remaining neutral, and learning the specific language used to report these events, you are building the skills to be an informed and confident global citizen. Thank you for handling this serious topic with maturity and a focus on learning. This is a developing story with no easy answers. It highlights the difficult balance between national security and international diplomacy. I would like to ask you, what do you think is the role of diplomacy in a dangerous situation like this? Please share your thoughts respectfully in the comments below. If you found this lesson helpful for understanding world news in English, please give it a like, subscribe to Grow English Mastery, and share it with others. I'm Scarlett. Thank you for joining me today. Stay safe and stay informed. I will see you in our next lesson.